Hey everyone, and welcome back to another video. Today, we're going to be talking about who I view as the best and worst rookie groups of 2022. Usually, I would wait until November or December to make a video like this, but it doesn't seem like there are many other notable groups debuting this year. But if any new ones do pop up, I might make like an updated version of this, who knows. Before we get started, I'd like everybody to know that my criteria for putting a group in the best or worst sections is centered around the music. A majority of my commentary is going to be centered around whether or not I like the songs they've put out so far, so please don't think if I put a group in the worst section that I think they're not talented or I hate the members or something, because that's just not the case. Alright, I think that wraps up our intro, so thank you all so much for watching, and without further ado, let's get into group number 1. Alright, so the first group that I decided to put in the best section is Kep1er. I know some of you, if you follow my channel, might be a little bit confused because I've voiced quite a few times that I'm not the biggest fan of WJSN, but after looking through their entire discography, however small it is, I realized that there are only a couple of songs that I don't actually like. Those being WJSN and Wing Wing. I realized that they actually don't have a single bad B-side in my opinion, and Up is one of my favorite girl group title tracks of the year. So they actually have a really good ratio of songs that I like to songs that I don't like, with Mask and Rewind being some of the best B-sides of the year too. I am a little bit confused as to what direction I want Kep1er to go because I do want them to be successful, but at the same time Up is their less successful title track and that's the one I like more. So even if Kep1er do stick with more girl crush-esque concepts in the future, I won't hold it against them. Another thing that I'd like to share is that as the years gone by, I've definitely grown to like all of the members a little bit more than I did in the past. Not that I ever hated any of them, but of course there was a little bit of bitterness when some of my picks from Girls Planet didn't make it in. However, all of that bitterness has gone away simply because there's no reason to hold on to it anymore, and I think the members have a lot of good chemistry with each other. Overall, my opinion on Kep1er has tremendously improved as the months have gone by, and I hope they continue to thrive in the future. So next we're going to put our first group in the worst category, and that's sadly going to be Lapillus. I'm sure most of you know where I'm coming from considering they only have one song, and that one song was controversial to say the least. And I mean, it was even number 1 in my least favorite K-pop songs of 2022 video. I really don't understand what their company was thinking giving them a song like this, considering literally anybody could listen to it and be like, hey wait, this probably isn't the sound that we want our group to be known for. It's weird because their company MLD Entertainment also created Momoland, who have some of my favorite title tracks of the third generation and also have one of the most underrated discographies ever, so I thought that good music would transfer over to their rookie girl group. But looking at all of the groups under that company, I feel like Lapillus resemble T1419 more so than Momoland. But they are having a comeback soon, so maybe things will change in the future. If they end up proving me wrong and have one of the best discographies of the fourth generation, I will absolutely admit it, but for now, they're gonna sit in the worst category of this video. Next up, again for the best section, we have Lesserafim, whose debut mini-album was probably the best debut mini-album to come out this year. I'm pretty sure it's the only one that I would actually consider to be no skip. I will admit I'm kind of just a sucker for anything even a little bit reminiscent of Vogue-esque or elegant music, which is exactly what their debut mini-album was, so for me, it was pretty predictable that I was gonna like it. I literally stream Blue Flame every other day, and their second best song to me is The Great Mermaid, so it kind of makes me sad that it's their second least popular. But as I said before, they don't have a single bad song yet, so it's not that big of a deal. I am genuinely so excited for their comeback in October, because if they keep going the way they are right now, then they're shaping up to have a top 3 4th gen girl group discography. First and second place are currently held by Billlie and ITZY, and I don't want anybody in the comment section talking about how ITZY don't deserve that spot, okay? But yeah, to sum this up, Lesserafim have good music, so they go in the best section. It's really quite simple. Sorry, anyways, let's move on. Alright, so next up for the worst category we have NMIXX, and I feel so bad for them because I've talked about them so many times on my channel before, with barely any of that commentary being positive, but I just cannot understand what JYP is doing with them. They do finally have one song that I'm a fan of, I really do enjoy Cool, but besides that one song, I don't really even understand the appeal behind their other music. Usually, even if I don't like a song, I can understand that it has good qualities that other people would enjoy, but for Tank, I.O.I, and now DICE, I'm not even able to do that. I'm still gonna respect your opinion if you disagree with me, because that's just the normal human thing to do, but I still genuinely cannot understand why so many people get behind their music. Maybe one day it'll click, maybe one day I'll be the biggest answer? Is that how you say their fandom name? I'm not sure. Anyways, maybe one day I'll be the biggest NMIXX fan in the world, but right now I'd say there's about a 0% chance of that happening. Sorry to any NMIXX stans who follow my channel, I know I've been like really harsh on them before, but I knew that everybody would be asking where they were if I didn't include them, so I thought just, why not? But now that that's over, let's move on to the next section.
Here comes bad news.
Alright, so next up we have the only boy group in the best section, it's Tempest, who have been doing a really dang good job of releasing bright boy group songs. Both of their title tracks so far have such a nice energy to them, and they're also super catchy, but I think my favorite part about their title tracks is how they're upbeat and fun, but aren't like cringy, if that makes sense. I feel like a lot of the time with cuter boy group songs, it feels like they're trying a little bit too hard to be cute, but Tempest do it so effortlessly and don't seem awkward at all. Another thing that I'd like to commend them on is that their second album is way better than their first. Honestly, with their debut, I only saved the title track, but I liked almost every single track on their first comeback album. So right now, I think Tempest are one of the best rookie groups of 2022, and they're also by far the best boy group of 2022, and I really recommend that you all go check them out.
비켜.
Alright, so I thought this would be fun to do. On the flip side of Tempest, in the worst section we have every other boy group, because it's honestly kind of impressive how genuinely unremarkable every other rookie boy group this year has been. There's a couple that I like 1 or 2 songs from, such as Unite or Tan, and those two are the best out of all of the other ones who I have literally nothing saved from. I've listened to so many boy group debuts from this year, hoping that there would be something that would genuinely catch my interest, but besides Tempest, I wouldn't rate any rookie boy group title track from this year anything above like a 7 out of 10. If that. I'm sure a lot of you are fans of some of these groups that have debuted this year, and that's totally fine, but personally I'm just not on the same wavelength as you, and that's okay. Also, side note, we need to get some better boy group names, because what is Driver, what is 9.I? I'm sure these groups have lovely members, but dang, these group names are just not appealing to the eye. Or the ear, actually. So yeah, boy groups this year have been pretty unremarkable, but if you have a favorite, feel free to promote them in the comment section. But now let's move on. So next up, I'm just going to be doing a bit of a disclaimer section on newjeans. I know a lot of you are probably wondering whether I would put them in the best or the worst section, but my answer is I can't really put them in either. I've talked about this before in my K-pop groups that I will never stand video, so there, the same thing also goes for Classy in this section, but basically I just don't really feel comfortable listening to their music, due to Min Heejin, who is newjeans' CEO and the producer of Classy's survival show, just being really weird people. I don't want to stream their group's music because I don't want to put money into their pockets. So besides 1 or 2 seconds of their songs from scrolling on TikTok, I genuinely do not listen to any of their music. I'm not saying that everybody watching has to do the same or has to feel guilty for streaming their songs. This is just a personal decision from me, and I hope you guys can understand that. So yeah, since I don't listen to their songs, I can't form an opinion on the group, which leaves them in the undecided category. So finally, for the best section, we have CSR, who are one of the few groups who I would classify as having a refreshing sound because they're doing a concept that hasn't been done for a while, which is the innocent concept. Very reminiscent of earlier Lovelies or G-Friend, CSR's debut mini was just very cute and fun and fresh, with nothing really to complain about. They're not my favorite group of 2022, but they're definitely one of the better ones, and in the future, I'll definitely be keeping an eye out for them. Alright, so the final section of this video is going to be a group for the worst section, and that is going to be VIVIZ. To be honest, if I had to rank all of the group's music in the worst section, then VIVIZ would be at the top, but I'm not a big enough fan of their music to put them in the best section either. VIVIZ discography is honestly not that bad, and I can definitely understand why they have fans, but for me, it's not great. It's just fine, which is kind of how I feel about the group as a whole. Their music is fine, their vocals are fine, their choreography is fine, their members are fine, but none of these elements are good enough for me to actually want to stan, so I felt like I would be lying to myself if I put them in the best section. They're not bad, they're just fine. And that concludes this video. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. This one's a little bit of a shorter one, so I hope you guys are okay with that, but there aren't many other remarkable groups that have debuted this year. If you enjoyed the video, consider leaving a like, and if you want to see more of my content, consider subscribing, and also let me know what your favorite group who debuted this year is in the comment section down below. As always, at the end of every video, we thank all of our channel members, so let me do that right now. Without further ado, thank you OPJ and ITZY, Wu Twice Tees, Dog, What's OP, Zeus112, Flo099, Jackie, Abe, Xavi H, Wu Youngie, Yin Latte, Jed, Soda Scribbles, Minacor, Adrian Wang, Shiny, Mel T, Mizu Monorovier, Vixxo June, Cassie, Frago Bobo, Gav, Edifa N, Irene, Chili's Cafe, Mello, Ale, Julia Peterson, Che, 97th Heaven, Frosty Plays, Julian Zalazar, Jay, Alpha Fox, Edgy Does Things, Miriam, Silverwind, Namjoon's Lost AirPods, Julia, Ray, Kyukin Love, Shazzle Slay, Caitlin Castor, I.O.I, Elizabeth Allinger, and Sonorin. Thank you all so much for supporting the channel, and thank you everybody for watching. Without further ado, I'll see you all in the next video. Peace out.